This is episode number 944 on Gemini 3 Pro. Welcome back to the Super Data Science Podcast. I am your host, Jon Krohn. There's been a ton of excitement around Google's new Gemini 3 Pro model. It appears that Google, after trailing behind OpenAI since the release of ChatGPT 3 years ago, and then later lagging behind Anthropic as well, it appears Google has regained the top spot at the frontier of AI capability. In today's episode, I'll fill you in on everything you need to know about Gemini 3 Pro's performance and why it matters. First, Gemini 3 Pro is topping major evaluation leaderboards. On the popular LM Arena leaderboard, for example, which we cover in detail back in episode number 707 with Professor Joey Gonzalez, whose lab devised the unique arena. But in a nutshell, what makes LM Arena unique and hard to game relative to most benchmarks is it uses human evaluators. And Gemini 3 Pro debuted in first place across all of the key tracks: text reasoning, vision, coding, and web development. In fact, the LM Arena team noted that Gemini 3 surpassed even brand new rivals like xAI's Grok 4.1 and OpenAI's latest GPT-5 class models on a wide range of tasks from math and long-form Q&A to creative writing. This is huge news because in recent years, OpenAI's and Anthropic's best models like GPT 5.1 and Claude Sonnet 4.5 were seen as the ones to beat. Gemini 3 Pro upended that and is currently, at the time that I'm recording this, topping the LM Arena leaderboard overall. Beyond LM Arena, Gemini 3 Pro's performance on a wide array of benchmark evaluations is also impressive. For example, on Humanity's Last Exam, Gemini 3 Pro scores a 38% with no tools like web search or code execution, while its next closest competitor, GPT 5.1, scores only 27%. That's a big jump on what is still a tough benchmark for LLMs in 2025. On another also tough benchmark, a math contest benchmark called Math Arena Apex, Gemini 3 Pro solved about 23% of the problems, which might sound low until I tell you that the next best performing models, GPT 5.1 and Claude 4.5, managed only about 1% on that test. So this is a jump from 1% to 23% with this Gemini 3 Pro release. That's pretty crazy. Gemini 3 Pro also set new high watermarks, including the AIM math benchmark, the GPQA Diamond benchmark of scientific knowledge, and the MMU Pro multimodal understanding and reasoning benchmark. It also tackled tricky visual reasoning puzzles in the ArcAGI 2 challenge quite a lot better than rivals, scoring 31% versus just 18% and 14% for GPT 5.1 and Claude 4.5, respectively. That is a remarkable jump in a notoriously hard test of abstract problem solving. For those of us using LLMs to help us with coding or for agentic AI tasks, Gemini 3 Pro made some cool leaps there too. While it performed comparably to Claude and GPT models on the popular SweBench Verified benchmark, it crushed all other models on Live Code Bench Pro. It also shines in tool use and long horizon planning, for instance, on Vending Bench 2.0, where a commercial vending machine simulation is carried out. Gemini 3 Pro made a simulated profit of over $5,500, while its closest competitors, Claude Sonnet 4.5 and GPT 5.1, net profits of only $4,000 and $1,500 respectively. I guess you'd actually, if you added together the performance of both Claude Sonnet 4.5 and GPT 5.1, that would still be a little bit less than Gemini 3 Pro made on its shot at Vending Bench. And finally, for those of us interested in developing agents that can understand what's happening on a computer screen to be able to act autonomously using that information, Gemini 3 Pro might be the first LLM we'd actually trust with that, because it scored 73% on the ScreenSpot Pro benchmark, while its closest rival, Sonnet 4.5, scored less than half that, only 36%. And what about the model itself? Well, Google hasn't revealed much about Gemini 3's architecture. No surprise, the details are proprietary. But one technical spec worth sharing or worth mentioning is that it boasts a big million token context window. That corresponds to about 8 novels worth of natural language. Not such a big deal because million token context windows are becoming more and more common with frontier models, but still worth mentioning. And so how is it being used? Well, Google is wasting no time deploying Gemini 3. The launch is one of Google's most extensive ever, with Gemini 3 Pro being rolled out across many of their products simultaneously. It's powering features in Google Search, the new Gemini chatbot app, Vertex AI cloud services, and developer tools. Beyond Google's own ecosystem, some early partners are already test driving it in real workflows. For example, Wayfair's CTO shared that they've been piloting Gemini 3 Pro to convert complex support documents into clear, data-accurate infographics for their field teams. That's a great illustration of Gemini's multimodal power in an industry setting. It's taking long, text-heavy manuals and automatically producing visual, digestible summaries. We're also hearing about Gemini 3 being evaluated for coding copilots and enterprise knowledge assistants. GitHub, for example, noted a 35% boost in code accuracy when they switched to Gemini 3 Pro in an early test, compared to its predecessor, Gemini 2.5. The broader significance is that this release signals that Google is back on top in the AI race, at least for now. Over the past year, OpenAI's GPT models and Anthropic's Claude models often grab the most advanced LLM headlines, but Gemini 3 Pro has emphatically put Google's flag in the ground as the lab to now beat. It leapfrogged not only OpenAI and Anthropic's latest, but also up-and-comers like xAI. In fact, the team behind LM Arena noted Gemini 3 Pro was the first model to ever break an ELO score of 1,500 on their platform, a testament to just how far Google pushed the envelope here. For Google, this is a strategic win. It validates their investment in combining DeepMind's research with other Google resources. For us, leveraging frontier models and bringing them to the real world within applications, as I suspect many listeners are, this shows us that the competition at the frontier of AI is alive and well. As each new model raises the stakes, we all benefit from the rapid improvements in what these systems can do. On that note, I'm not going to cover it in any detail in today's episode, but you might also want to check out Google's brand new Nano Banana Pro. I've got a link to that for you in the show notes to see what's possible for the state-of-the-art in text-to-image generation as well as image editing. Perhaps unsurprisingly, Gemini 3 Pro is the LLM running in behind on Nano Banana Pro's backend. Well, with new capabilities at your fingertips now for image generation, image editing, text generation, coding, and especially agentic AI-relevant capabilities like screen understanding and long-term reasoning, I hope your human brain is buzzing with ideas about what you could do with Gemini 3 Pro. If not, chat with whatever your favorite LLM is to get ideas on what you could do given your particular industry, network, background, etc. While being able to predict what company will be leading the AI race in any given month may be tough, one thing's for sure. Folks like us leveraging and deploying these rapidly improving LLMs are all benefiting. All right, that's it for today's episode. I'm Jon Krohn, and you've been listening to the Super Data Science Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode or know someone who might consider sharing this episode with them, leave a review of the show on your favorite podcasting platform, please. And if you aren't already, be sure to subscribe to the show. Most importantly, we hope you'll just keep on listening. Until next time, keep on rocking it out there, and I'm looking forward to enjoying another round of the Super Data Science Podcast with you very soon.